To the Boxing Talk Show, fair but firm, with the Hall of Fame boxing referee. I'm Joe Cortez and co-host John Zemel in English and Spanish for all of Las Vegas. Come on, guys, let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez, fair but firm.
Dylan, Veronica, Dylan, Jackie, Charlie. Hey, guys out there, fans, welcome to the Fair but Firm show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world. And my co-host here, John Zemel. John Zemel, you know, we are getting back. We had a little technical difficulties on the first segment, and here we go again. Hopefully, there's no difficulties. Yeah. But anyway, I can tell you that we're talking about the Gennady Golovkin Triple G Saul Canelo Alvarez fight coming September 15th here in Las Vegas. As you well know, John, the first fight was an exciting fight, controversial ending. A lot of fans felt that Triple G won the fight. Saul Canelo Alvarez didn't look as good as he said he was going to look. Yeah. But he said he's coming back very powerful, going to be like a Superman. His next coming fight, September 15th. What do you say about that?
I believe him. I mean, look, his biggest issue was fatigue. He gassed out in the later rounds, and that's just you know, when you're fighting Gennady Golovkin, who's going to keep coming at you like the Terminator, you're not going to be able to gas out. I mean, that's the great thing about these fights is the styles make fights, and these two fighters' styles are perfect. Everything about them is perfect. Everything about this fight marinated up to this point is perfect. It's the greatest fight we'll get this year, and it's the biggest fight we'll get this year. But the fact that you have a constant counterpuncher in Canelo Alvarez, maybe the best counterpuncher in the sport right now, versus a constant full pressure all the time fighter like Triple G Gennady Golovkin is the best situation that you could possibly have between two fighters. I mean, it's exciting as you could possibly get it, and we're really going to be able to find out who the best middleweight of our era is.
Well, I can tell you one thing is that Saul Canelo has to show something this time around, because last time he didn't live up to what he said he was going to do. He could say he was going to make Triple G look bad or whatnot. It was the other way around. I mean, they were both great fighters. They both put on a great performance. But it was Canelo who was doing all the running and trying to dodge away from some of these power punches from Triple G. And this time around, I think it's going to be a little bit different. I don't think he's going to be running as much. He can't be forced to, face to face with a puncher like Triple G. No. But he's going to be using different angles. So instead of running, he's going to be, I think, more lateral movement, and instead of just backtrack. When you backtrack, it doesn't look good. You know, even if you're blocking good, you have good defense. Or you start lateral move side to side, and you start using different angles, get in the pocket, and quick combination and get out. Instead of backing up, move to the sides. That'll be a difference. And I think that's the way they're going to go, because he didn't look too good backing up most of the fight last time around. No,
but he seems to have improved his conditioning. That was a main focus of his training camp, and if you see pictures of him, he looks smaller, and that's a good thing. He looks more fit, more ready to handle those later rounds, because that's the idea. We saw it later on in the first fight. It just turned into Triple G or Canelo runs out there for the first 30 seconds, throws a flurry, might land one, and then backs down and kind of, I don't want to say runs away because it's always, an oversimplification, but kind of back down for the rest of the fight. And I think in this time, if he has more of a gas tank and Triple G no longer fears his power as a counterpuncher, I think you have yourself a perfect recipe for another incredible fight, probably even better than the first one.
Yeah, well, I think Canelo, to his advantage, would be if he uses more speed. More combinations. If you throw one and you stand around, you wait, but if you pop, 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 throw three and move constantly and throw combinations and keep moving, but if you're going to stay there and backtrack and not too much, it doesn't look good. I think they went back to the drawing board. I guarantee you'll see a lot of more speed, a lot of more quicker combinations, and it'll be moving side to side, angles, spinning his opponent around, and not just backing up. When you back up, believe me, in the eyes of the judges and of the fans, no matter if you're not getting hit.
Ring generalship, like you said.
It doesn't look good that you're backtracking. It looks like you're a little afraid of confronting him and mixing it up. So, and being that the Triple G is throwing punches, Canelo has got great defense, but with the great defense he may have, it may not look good in the eyes of the judges.
Exactly. And that's not to say not to be defensive. I mean, I think what Canelo should do best is play to his strengths. Play 100% to his strengths. You are a great counterpuncher. Keep moving. Like you said, finding new angles. Allow Triple G to keep coming forward, but keep firing back at him the whole time. Exactly. It's okay to fight on your back foot if you're hitting the guy. Just don't hide. I mean, that's...
there was a great fighter back in the old days, which I call the greatest fighter of all time. That's the great Sugar Ray Robinson, the middleweight. and he was good backing up. He looked good backing up. As he's backing up, boom, he hit you with a left hook and knock you out. I mean, he was that kind of a fighter. And if you throw punches, if you're backing up, throw punches when you're backing up. Don't just back up, and defense doesn't look good. You know, and I'm sure he's got good trainers, but this is some of the things sometimes they overlook. And I'm an old school guy, you know. I just feel like some of these fighters got to up the ante a little bit and just learn how to more back up as you're backing up, throw the punches as you're backing up. Don't just back up and do nothing. Just defense doesn't look good enough for me.
I agree with you. And I think both of these fighters have a lot on the line here. They both have a lot for legacy. I mean, Triple G's biggest win is Danny Jacobs, which I'm sorry, history's not going to remember Danny Jacobs 30 years from now. Not on that level. You're not going to, if you are talking about Triple G as an all-timer and you say, what's his best win? I mean, I like Danny Jacobs, but he needs this fight for his legacy. So does Canelo. He needs to gain those fans back that he lost from the drug test and from the last lackluster performance. And he, I mean, not that he has a lack of fans. We all know that's not true. But he wants the boxing community behind him, because who wouldn't? So I think this really, I mean, there's so much on the line for both these guys. So much for legacy, so much for pride, so much for everything, including potential earning power down the line. I think you have yourself a perfect recipe, man.
No question about it. It'll be a great fight. September 15th here at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world and the boxing capital of the world. I mean, you know, when you come to Las Vegas, you're going to have great food, because you got some of the best restaurants in Las Vegas. You got the great fights. You got hockey. You're going to have the Raiders coming in.
We live here.
We live here, of course. And you want to see John Zemel
I'm
in
here.
person.
Exactly.
He's my champ.
That's better than the Raiders.
I don't know about
well,
that.
it's probably even.
But you're better looking.
Right.
But anyway, I can tell you that we're having a lot of fun here in Vegas with a lot of things that are going on. You know, we're looking forward to a lot of fights. And Bob Arum just signed a nice contract with ESPN.
Did he ever?
You know, for a 7-year contract with over a couple of hundred fights the next 7 years, maybe 200 or 300 fights.
54 a year, right?
Yeah.
That's more than one a week. That's outstanding.
Yeah, that's going to be great. So that's what we need in boxing. And I'm sure that the state of Nevada is going to be very happy, because we're going to get a lot more fights here. Of course, back in California, New York, different parts of the country and around the world, with ESPN Plus. You know, that $4.99 a month.
Absolutely.
You know, to watch these fights on
no, it's 100% worth it. Plus, you get an archive of hundreds of fights from way back in the day, and you can. I mean, it's really, as a boxing fan, it's a must-have.
It's really worth it, because you know, $4.99 compared to paying $100 or for the monthly cable bills. You know, the future is turning as far
as streaming services.
Streaming services.
I use to watch Showtime fights. I have the Showtime app. I subscribe through that. I don't even have cable with that. Comes to the Showtime. So
that goes to show that times have changed, especially with social media. And you fans out there now getting to hear more about what's going on in fights around the world, because of the social media. We have friends. We have our people. Jackie back in New York. I'm sure she's helping us out with our show here. And we have Dylan Tadaro, and we have Veronica Lopez, and of course Charlie Carrillo. We have so many of our fans out there that are sharing. If you guys that are watching, you like the show, share it out there. Put a like on it, so this way fans can see more of what we're talking about here.
And speaking of social media, if you guys have any questions, please send them our way. We love answering fan questions. And I think our producer Charlie Carrillo was telling us we have a question right now.
You know, in boxing, I can tell you.
Okay, they can't hear the question.
The question was, is Gennady Golovkin getting all like Kovalev, who just fought last week and got stopped by Alvarez for Colombia? I said before, fighters get old overnight. They look great, until they find somebody who's a decent puncher and has good skills, good ring mechanics. And this can happen Saturday night, September 15th. I mean, Canelo Alvarez is that kind of a puncher. He's young.
Yes.
Golden Boy Promotion and Oscar, they know what they were doing. They didn't want to rush him in with Triple G. 4 years ago, when they were wanting Canelo Alvarez, it was not the right timing back then. Oscar said, Joe, one day he saw me, we were walking out of a restaurant. He said, Joe, I'm going to marinate my fight. We're going to take our time. We're going to prepare. I'm getting ready for the fight with Triple G. We're talking about it, but it's not going to happen now. He said it'll probably happen next year or the year after. And it did happen last year.
You hear what he said yesterday or 2 days ago?
What's that?
About he said after this fight he wants Canelo to fight Errol Spence.
Errol Spence.
What do you think about that? They're a ways away in weight, aren't they?
Well, there's 147. If Errol Spence was to go up to 154, it'd be a good fight.
They can meet in the middle?
Yeah, they can meet. Well, 154 is a good fight. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
If you're 147, 154.
Yeah, he shouldn't go up to 160 in fight.
No, not 160. Canelo would probably come back to 154. I think that's his real natural weight. But you never know. As you get a little bit older, a little tougher to take off those pounds.
Of course.
He's fighting at 160 against Triple G. But if Errol Spence wants to challenge Canelo or Triple G, I mean, he's going to have to come up for 147. I think Errol Spence, they talk a little too soon about his future. He's so young. He got so many years to go in boxing. I think they can talk about it, but making it happen right now, I don't think it's going to happen. And you fans out there know that Errol Spence, yes, he's a good up-and-coming fighter, has great skills, but he has not proven himself to be one of the best yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, this
he
is a good opportunity.
Up there, a great opportunity for him to step up to a different plateau in his career. But it's going to take him, I'd say, another year or two to say that Errol Spence is ready for a top middleweight. But
well, let me ask you this question then, because this is fun. We spent the last month talking about the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence rumors, and as we know, Mikey Garcia is 2 weight classes below Errol Spence.
Right.
Now we're hearing about Errol Spence versus Canelo Alvarez rumors, and Canelo Alvarez is 2 weight classes above Errol Spence.
Yeah.
We don't hear anything about Terrence Crawford against Errol Spence. Keith Thurman is in a coma. We don't know anything about. I mean, he's got Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia, the winner of that one. But outside of that, in the welterweight division, nobody wants to see Errol Spence. Would you rather see him fight Mikey Garcia, or would you rather see him fight Canelo Alvarez?
No, I'd rather see him fight Mikey Garcia first. Get through that fight. The lower division guy, they're not as heavy. It'll be a great match because
it would be a great match
Mikey
for both
Garcia
of them,
and Errol Spence would be a fight that anybody would pay to see.
I would.
That would be a good pay-per-view event. And of course, then the winner after that, who wins that fight, then we can see maybe fighting Canelo Alvarez if he wins, or even if he loses. I mean, Canelo Alvarez, if he loses to Triple G, doesn't mean that he's finished.
No,
he's still going to be
young.
He's still young. Good. He's still going to be in a mix. So yeah, it could be a fight made down the line. Win or lose for Canelo.
Yeah.
But I think people are rushing some of these fighters a little too soon, especially the fight fans. On paper, it looks good. Oh, yeah, Errol Spence and Canelo, it looks good on paper. But in the real world, no, not yet. Once you get to behind the scenes, you know boxing the way I know boxing, the way the promoters and the managers, they know their fighters. That's how they start to understand who goes on top first.
And I think there's a big misconception about Errol Spence because of the fact that he's so big and such a big puncher at 147, that they believe that his natural weight is probably closer to 160. But when he rehydrated for that last fight against Carlos Ocampo, he only rehydrated at like 154. I mean, he barely rehydrated that much at all to show that his natural weight probably isn't 160. He's probably good at 147. He doesn't struggle to cut weight. I could see him going up at some point, but it's not like he's fighting to stay down there. I mean, he's pretty good where he's at, which I think is a good indicator for anything.
Exactly, Glenn. This past Saturday night we had Jojo Diaz fighting Jesus Marquez.
Rojas.
Jesus Rojas from Puerto Rico, and it was a good fight for Jojo Diaz. I mean, he looked good. He was a very competitive fight. Marquez is a little over his time. He's over-peaked his career. And I think that he gave Diaz a little run for his money, but it was a learning process for Jojo Diaz. You can't have to be a great fighter, you can't have easy fights. The fight's got to be a little bit difficult. You can learn as you go through these fights. It's not easy becoming a household name, and Jojo Diaz is being promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. They're doing a good job with him. But I think the fight Saturday night was a good experience for his career to make him a better fighter.
If we go back a few months, one of our favorite things on this show that we talk about a lot is when fighters lose and their stock rises. And Jojo Diaz fought a hard fight to Gary Russell Jr. and came out of that with a higher stock than before, where people go, wow, what a monster, what a heart this kid has. So they give him another title shot, and then he didn't make weight.
He didn't make weight. See,
now we have a vacant WBA title, which is it's a bummer, man. When there's no one at the end of it with a belt, you know, all that's on the line is to strip someone, not to gain it yourself. It's a shame, but he said that he thinks he's going to move up next, which I think is exciting for the sport. Yeah, I think he's a good talent, man.
If he's having trouble making the weight now, he's young. He's having trouble, so No, you're trying to hold you back. If you got the talent, go up another division.
Exactly.
Just like Mikey Garcia did. Went from lightweight to super lightweight.
He's all over the place,
to
man.
welterweight.
Back down.
Yeah, but remember, there was a great fighter back in the day, Henry Armstrong. The guy was champion featherweight, lightweight, welterweight champion at the same time. He was fluctuating in weight, and he would train, and then he would come back down to featherweight, 126, go back up to welterweight, then come back to lightweight. Guy was unbelievable. Check him out.
Henry Armstrong's getting inducted into the Nevada Hall of Fame in 2 weeks, right?
Next week.
Next
Saturday, at the 18th here at the Caesars Palace. This will be the sixth
inaugural sixth class of
Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. It was really great, and they're gonna have a group of individuals that are being inducted into the Nevada Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
And I can say that we also have the heavyweight division. It's a little talk about.
Ooh-wee.
You know, Tyson Fury is fighting.
He's fighting Francisco Pianeta, who's a journeyman and who has lost his last couple fights, but he's he's better. He's a step up from Sefer Seferi, who he fought the last fight and who was not even in his weight class.
Yeah, but anyway, that's what it will be, a tune-up fight for Tyson Fury, who's lined up just about ready to sign a contract with Deontay Wilder.
We just found out Deontay Wilder is going to be there. We're going to be there in Belfast, ringside. So as soon as they do that, they're going to have their big WWE show where they come out and talk to each other and sign the contract, and they do the whole thing. It makes it exciting.
That'd be good to sign the contract right in the middle of the ring.
Right in the middle of the ring.
Sign the paper right here.
Do it just like
sign it right here.
They would. Like
I want to fight you right now.
I wish they would.
That's the way you do the contract.
Yeah.
You know? Come on.
Take notes, Eddie Hearn.
There you go.
That's how you do it,
That's
baby.
how you do it, right in the ring. Make
right
it look
in the
like,
ring.
Oh, man, I think that's a good way to do a build-up for that fight. You know, come on, you want to make it exciting, you want to sell tickets, do it the way I'm telling you.
They're doing it here,
do
right?
The contract right out there, huh?
They're talking about Las Vegas, right?
Yeah,
that was the most, Las Vegas in December.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be here December.
And that will be the only other pay-per-view fight.
Wait. You also made Mikey Garcia and Lomachenko. What's happening with that?
Well, Mikey Garcia and Bob Arum have their issues, so, it makes it tough. I mean,
let's talk about it. Let's see what happens.
I would love to see that.
But you know what? I know Manny Pacquiao, by beating Lucas Matisse the other day, knocked him out. He come back to life. And people say he came back to life. They thought he was in a coma. Here he's back again talking about.
He was in a coma, but he did come back to life.
He came back after Marquez. But here he is now coming back and talking about, I want to fight Floyd Mayweather. I want to rematch. Floyd Mayweather, are you kidding me? But you know what? It's doable. Because Floyd Mayweather is no dummy. He know where the money's at. That's why they call him the money team.
That's why they call him the money man.
The money man. He wants money. He wants money with the plata. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy is I don't want that fight, but I know I'd pay for it. Like, I'd pay for it over any other Pacquiao opponent. It's crazy because we really would.
Yeah, but can you imagine Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather again?
Of course I can.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, if they want to have that fight here, you know what? Manny Pacquiao did very well. They took the fight over to Malaysia. Over there. Who the hell was talking to Manny Pacquiao and Lucas Matisse? One guy from the Philippines, the other guy from Argentina to fight in Malaysia. And those two guys can do it. Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao could definitely do it over there too.
I think more realistically, I think Pacquiao's best opponent is probably Amir Khan coming up. I think because they both have huge followings and awesome marketing teams behind them and promotional teams.
Yeah, that'd be a great fight at the Wembley Stadium.
I would watch it, man. I'd watch it in a heartbeat. They would sell 80,000 tickets.
Easy. I mean, the tickets go on sale. I guarantee you they'll be sold in 2 hours.
Absolutely. Amir Khan has such a following over there. And by the way, to any English fans or anybody listening to the UK, way to go. All of you. We have such a hard time promoting American fighters right now, from Errol Spence to Terrence Crawford to Deontay Wilder. We have such a, it's cult-like, and I say that with reverence. I don't say that making fun of it. The amount of following that you guys have for your fighters out there, whether they're David Haye, Tony Bellew, even Derek Chisora, obviously the God, Anthony Joshua, Amir Khan, all these guys, have such a support from you all. And I got to tell you, it's amazing to watch and astonishing to watch as an American fan and to see the kind of support that you guys have out there. Good for you. Keep doing what you're doing because you're keeping the sport alive.
Yeah, we got our friend out there. A shout out to Dan Hewitt out in the United Kingdom. Dan, we went on the other day. You and I were talking when I was on your show, and I spoke to you this past Sunday. Keep up the good work. You and your wife and your dad, give him all my regards. My fans out there in the United Kingdom, we love you guys. Just keep watching our show. Dan, put the share out there with your friends and with your followers. Let them see what we're doing here out of Las Vegas, the boxing capital of the world. And of course, with my dear friends out there in the United Kingdom. And a shout out to Barry McGuigan, and to Ricky Hatton.
Ricky Hatton, baby.
Amir Khan, all you guys, Lennox Lewis. I mean, I was the honor to referee all those fighters. They were great fights, and I wish you the very best. My heart goes out to all of you. John?
Yes, sir.
It will come to an end of this show. This is a sad part of the show because it's coming to an end.
It is.
And now it's going to leave me.
It's fine.
Oh, my man Charlie's saying we got about 10 more minutes left. Are you kidding me? Wow, we're going to keep going then. Okay, that's good. I don't feel as bad now. My heart is beating again. I'm out of that coma. I can come back again. Okay, guys, listen. I just got the heartbeat going again. Guys, let me tell you one thing. Here in boxing in Las Vegas, we're starting to do some real nice small-time shows. Rose Jones Jr. just did the shows Friday night at the Red Rock Hotel. They were like 4 8-rounders and 1 4-rounder. And every single fight was just wonderful to watch. It was very competitive. I walked over to Roy Jones and told him, Roy, these are the kind of fights we need in Las Vegas to build up these young fighters, get them to be known, get them the experience that they need. You know, they're not getting overly matched. Bob Bennett, the executive director of Nevada State Athletic Commission, is doing a great job, but he puts a stamp of approval to all these small fights. But they're big fights in the hearts of the fans, and of course the fighters. They get to see good match fights, and this is where these fighters become world champions. You know, you don't hear of them now, but they become household names. They become more polished up. There are a lot of green fighters out there that want to be world champion one day, and they have the potentials to make it, but you need fights like we have Saturday night.
Every world champion comes from somewhere, man.
That's right.
You go on BoxRec right now, you look up every one of your favorite fighters of all time. Look at their first 10 fights. Nobody knew who they were. I mean, outside of some Olympic champions. But you know what I mean? They come from somewhere. Everyone is just what the Powerade commercial. Everyone's a kid from somewhere.
Exactly.
I said, we're not sponsored by Powerade, but we will. But but everyone is just a kid from somewhere, and they got to start somewhere. We all have to start somewhere. And so you look at these amateur fights and or these small time fights, exactly. And you watch that build up, and it's exciting.
And that also helps the referees, the judges, everybody involved, because they all get that little extra experience. Even you just don't go into a big championship fight without working the smaller fights, the preliminary fight, the 4-round, 6-rounders, 8-rounders, 10-rounders. That's where the judges and the referee get the ring mechanics of referees, and the judges.
So you earn your stripes.
Yeah, the judges earn their strength by doing these small preliminary fights. So it's like anything else. You got to have a beginning somewhere. Talking about beginnings, you know, sometimes things happen to individuals in life. Now I'm going about the personal friends out there, people that are listening. You just want to learn a little bit about. Joe Cortez always cares about folks out there. I want to try to share my knowledge and wisdom to let you know that there's always a new beginning, whether if you finish a career. I finished my career as a referee. I knew when it was time for me to step down because I had other goals in life. But there was a new beginning for me after my career in boxing as a referee. There's a lot of great things that I want to do, a lot of good things I want to do with these shows to educate my fans out there, my colleagues, and some of the fighters, trainers. There's so much that we can learn and try to be better in life. I've learned a lot through boxing. I've met a lot of wonderful fans out there. But my thing is to make sure that we can get to another level. I have so many friends around the country, and some of them are going through some difficult times, and I want to help them. I want to get them on the right track. I do care for people out there, and I want to make sure that you guys also embrace one another in the time that sometimes we hit bottom, and we have to try to, our friends that are down, get them back up again, even those that we don't even know, but we're trying to help out, and I want you guys to feel like it's better if we give a little love to each other. With that said, guys, take care. Have a good weekend. God bless you. I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up.